Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. And just like that, season 2, episode 9, there goes the neighborhood. Carrie makes a prominent real estate decision. Miranda asks Charlotte if Lily would give Brady college counseling. And Lisa tries to meet the demands of her career and has a shocking revelation. Y'all, buckle in for this episode because I kind of didn't hate it.
Yeah, I already wrote the episode description for this, and it's like the first line is like, this show is really starting to find its footing, and now that we're like literally one episode away from the end.
And see, I was telling myself that earlier watching it. I'm like, you know what? They're actually figuring it out here, but like, technically, this is not the second season of your show, y'all. Like, you're on the 9th season, past 2 movies. You should have had this figured out a little bit before now.
That's like a 15-year hiatus in the middle.
It could have had a second there. But I will say, I am giving an award because the fashion this episode was the best it has been all season. Even better than Bomb Cyclone, which I did love the fashion moments in that. But the overall fashion of every single character in this episode was good. Come on! I was like, wow.
Carrie's body looked really banging in a lot of these outfits.
Carrie looked amazing. I thought Miranda looked amazing. Miranda when she had that suit.
The mint suit. Or what's the color of that? It's not mint.
It's this. It's like a sage. They probably call it a sage.
That is exactly what that is. Yes. It's the color of my kitchen.
I was like, the way they dressed all 3 of these women for the scene to go look at Carrie's apartment. I was like,
Miranda's really funny in this episode too, and so is Charlotte. It's a good episode. No, it's not as good as the worst episode of Sex in the City. No.
Now, there was also a couple moments that made me go, really? Like, Toby?
Who? Oh, the non-binary.
Toby?
Chap.
Why do we need to keep pairing up these older women with like 25-year-olds? Toby looked about 23 years old.
Well, guess what, Dave? We'll never find out a resolution on that storyline because, or maybe they'll resolve it. But Che Diaz, as we know, has been written off. You know, now I'm interested.
Could you imagine if they just slot in Toby?
Oh. God, I hope that downstairs neighbor isn't gonna like come back.
Oh, see,
probably will.
Well, isn't she? Okay, here was what my perception was, that she was gonna move into Carrie's apartment.
Oh yeah,
right.
So the next 2 episodes, big spoiler here. The next 2 episodes is called what? The Last Supper, appetizer, and then entree. And which I actually kind of like, because there was the American Girl in Paris part.
Sure, but I feel like when we got to American Girl in Paris part those were really earned. You had built this season up so much. Carrie was leaving her beloved New York, and now like what have we built up? That freaking Giuseppe has a big dick and it literally is showing in every scene.
I didn't notice it again.
Amanda, I took photos this time. I didn't upload them because I started to become annoed, and then I started to have a revelation.
Send them to my text them to me right now. I'll pop them up here. I'd love to see some dick.
First I'm looking at Giuseppe walking, and then I started to realize, okay, maybe they're doing this because remember when he wore the Hot Fellas outfit? His dick was like prominently showing.
Yes.
I feel like now they just kind of don't have a choice but to like make it look prominently showing, or like someone has decided that like they don't care about character consistency over the years or anything, but they need to pay special attention to that, reminding us that Giuseppe has a big dick all the time, must be shown.
Yeah, but like even guys with really big dongs like that, there are ways to
he would
mask them
not
from the general public.
They are constantly showing it as though this man like snakes it up the top of his up and top through this top side of his briefs or something.
Isn't that what you kind of have? Well, isn't that what you would have? What do you do, Joan?
If
your big ol' hog.
Trust me, I don't have a fucking 10-inch dick like this.
I wouldn't want you to have one.
Hangs down.
That's a rough life, I feel.
There it is.
Oh yeah, you're right. See, I wasn't.
And then there's a later thing too where he's wearing pants and he has the boner or the dick, and it's like, I guess his flaccid dick is so humongous that
For anyone watching on YouTube, I'm putting up the thing here.
It's like it's hard to tell there, but as you're watching it, you're like, okay. Also, though,
I feel embarrassed walking around with this guy.
Oh, I wouldn't need to. We wouldn't be walking around. We would be in my apartment.
We need to take a break sometimes for coffee or something.
He could be the bottom.
Well, he's anyway. Not gonna be. Spoiler alert.
Well, he did say he wanted to be Maria, so you never know. Remember he's calling Anthony Tony?
Oh, is that where the Tony was? Look, I watched half of this on like Friday before Wicked. And okay. Spoiler here too, but I'll talk about it tomorrow. Oh no, everyone already heard it on Monday. I took a gummy before we walked into Wicked, and it 5 milligrams. It hit me, and the theater was packed, and and everyone was closing in around us, like just closing in, and people were like looking at what seats they were, and I really was holding my shit together with like my last.
Did you leave?
No, but I was like, I need the lights to just go down. I just need the lights to go down. You know?
Yeah,
it was
I get you.
I didn't know if the seat next to me was taken, so I was holding my huge winter jacket in front of me, and I was just like, I just want to put my jacket down. I just want to put my jacket down. And he kept talking to me, and I was just like, I was really trying to not be like, I need you to not talk right now. I just need to focus. Because I was really having a panic attack.
Okay. Well,
the reason why I was like, I was in my head just now. I was like, why did I start telling that?
What I want to say. Oh, there is a resolve.
Yes, I watched and just like that. The first half of it before Wicked, as I was like taking my gummy. Then I had to leave. So then I watched the second half today. So the whole first half of this episode I'm about to lead, I'm going to be like, kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
Great. Okay. Before we get really rolling here, guys, we have a request. It currently, I know this isn't ever, this episode could be listened to in March or May, but the holiday feeling is always in the air. And for the holidays, we beg you, please join us. All right. Subscribe, hit like, share our video, comment on it. You know what would be really cute is if you checked out our weekly roundup. Those are every Wednesday at 4 p.m. But I do believe that we may be changing it.
Oh, yeah. Soon. The new year. New year, new pod.
Yes. New year, new pod in the city, baby. And to celebrate, really. But that'll be our 1-year anniversary.
I know. I'm really proud of us. Oh, wait. It's on the 5th, right? The 5th is our actual.
I think the 6th is when we had our first one.
Oh. Well, guess what? This year it's it's on a Monday. Okay, but first week of January, 1 year, baby.
Yeah. So check out our weekly roundup. It's live every week, and over there we talk about all kinds of stuff: housewives, musicals, gay shit. We love it all. All right.
And then we're into December. So we're doing something special.
Yes, there's something special that we have a Patreon. If you've never heard of Patreon, it's a place. It's a mystical, magical land where you can go join over there for like a subscription, basically $6 a month. You join the community, and with that, you get to have extra episodes of us. Ones that like only Patreon people get to hear. And you're gonna want to hear it.
We let it all hang out.
We really do.
Real.
We really let it hang out. We've had a couple of these pillow talk episodes, and this month we love a theme. All right, we are theater people through and through. I am gay, so come on, we love a theme.
We spent the past 3 months counting down to the Wicked premiere as kind of a joke, but now it's just like fully unironic.
The Wicked thing definitely started as a joke, and I don't think
Halloween costumes
we're joking anymore.
The Halloween costumes were like pitched as like, what if you guys did this and we're like pretended to be those type of people for Halloween?
Yeah, and it definitely also felt like we were going to be try and make it more like joking, and then we ended up just being fabulous. Anyway, just saying.
Stage
for
ready.
The month of December, like every other person, we're having holiday things, all right? And this week, if you notice, we have a little
great
Christmas-y
quality picture
thing
on this one, by the way.
This is, guys, this was dug out of the anals, all right? First of all,
yeah, how'd you find this?
Google. So what happened was it was coming up to Christmas.
We don't want to recap the stuff for this.
I was just like, I'm at the point where like on our Patreon, I just would rather talk and just
now we've also
given
ourselves movies, which is going to be twice the work, but at least it switches it up. We wanted to switch it up.
A movie, I think, can be a general discussion
for sure,
as opposed to a recap. I'm not doing recaps of movies, y'all. Sorry, but I was Googling because I was like, you know what? I want to, we were talking a bit about doing Christmas themed things for December. And I was like, is there a Broad City episode that's Christmas? And maybe we can just do it out of order because we were supposed to do Broad City. And I searched Broad City Christmas, and it came up as Broad City Under the Mistletoe. And I was like, what? It said it was season 1, episode 4. And I was like, huh? We've already done season 1, episode 4. Like, there's what? I don't remember doing a Christmas episode. And then it took me to this YouTube. And guys, we're too dumb enough to know that, like, I guess they started this off as a YouTube Shorts.
Oh, I knew that, but I
had no idea.
Recap. We should have just recapped that because they're 4 minutes long.
Yeah, it was much nicer. It was much nicer taking my minimal notes on a 4-minute short.
Yeah,
so that's what it is over there.
Still good short. But we decided to go the whole month of December with fabulous Halloween holiday content.
Yes. The other what now I already forgot what the other things we were.
Oh, I know what they are.
Oh, should we keep it a secret?
No, let's say it.
Okay, we're gonna do
make a little list and we'll put it up on the screen for tomorrow.
We're gonna do Hot Frosty, that new movie on Netflix about the snowman that comes to life.
With Head from Schitt's Creek, and he looks unrecognizable.
Everyone's been saying he looks so bad in it.
Have you seen the clips? He does.
Yeah, I've seen it. I agree. Especially because he looks better with some facial hair, shorter hair. Anyway, we'll get into all those juicy deets when we actually watch Hot Frosty. So I hope you guys will tune in for that one. Join our Patreon, and then we're also going to do the Muppets Christmas Carol for our Christmas special.
Oh, you know what? I was on Saturday. Rob helped me put up my Christmas decorations, and I'm like, let's put a movie in the background. Name a movie that, like, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Without even thinking, he said Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay. So
what I would ask is, has he ever heard of A Diva's Christmas Carol?
No, but I have never seen that, and I would never have thought of it. But that's our fourth one.
A couple years ago, I rewatched that on VH1 because or not on VH1.
What is it?
It originally was on VH1, and it's Vanessa Williams as like the Scrooge character, and she plays.
It's an acted out thing. I assumed it was
a movie.
Like a concert, like leading ladies.
It's a movie.
Oh my! Let me see if I can.
I believe the premise is that I think it's on YouTube for free. I'm pretty sure that's where I watched it.
Oh, there she.
I think the premise is that she is like an executive, a producer of television, and she decides they're going to do a Christmas special. and that she is whatever. Kathy Griffins is plays one of the ghosts.
Oh,
So,
well, right, well, I'm in.
it's gay and all of that. So, guys,
And it's
please.
from the year 2000, which was a problematic year for a problematic 10 years of reality TV.
But that was right before Amanda's I'm not going to say favorite day because that sounds horrible. Anyway, guys, it's been 15 minutes. If you've made it through, it's time for And Just Like That.
Is there any news and gossip? No, because we still don't have a date. That's the only gossip.
I'm predicting summer. Or at least
that would
May.
be insane.
I think May, at least.
That's not like a time that you would like drop things.
I feel like And Just Like That would make sense as a summer show more than it does something that I would watch like religiously during the winter.
Yeah, you're kind of right, actually.
Like, I would love to put this on in the summertime, have something to watch.
All right. Well, anyway, until that is announced, then we're just going to go back to Sex and the City after this. So,
though I do want to do the there's the Sex and the City True Hollywood special and the movies and a bunch of stuff. So you never know, guys, you never know what we're going to do next. In fact, you know what's weird? The finale of season 2 is going to align with the end of the year almost perfectly.
Oh my! So we can really do anything.
It's like on January 6th or whenever it is, we are really brand new people.
Are you
all brand new? Could you imagine if we changed the name of? Oh, good God! I didn't. By the way, did you hear together? I'm starting a new That's the good January 6th. Anyway, what?
Did you know that Canada is going to be in the 52nd state now? That's being pitched now.
I don't want to.
We're gonna annex to y'all. So now it's.
I don't think you guys want. I don't think Canadians want that.
We don't. But now I'm getting a little more. It's becoming more scary for me.
I'm kind of still in this phase of like, we'll see. They haven't been inaugurated yet. That's all I'm holding.
I'm just watching.
Know. Who knows?
Go along for this ride. But anyway, not to get political. Aidan arrives home. Okay, so God, this seems like so long.
This scene made me angry because why? Why in God's name? I'm just gonna barrel through here a little bit. Don't really care what happens. Carrie and Aidan were with his sons and blah blah blah. It's figured out that one of the sons doesn't really dig Carrie, and neither would I if I was 13. Okay. What I'll say, though, is why in God's fucking name did Aidan need to strip down to his tighty whities within 1 second of being home and then continue to stay in the tighty whities even when someone is violently banging on your door and you're about to answer it? And I hated that. I hated it. Amanda, it made me angry.
But don't you walk around your house naked all the time?
I just think this was being gratuitous in a way that I didn't need. Honestly, I don't think that Aidan is serving me what I'm looking for.
He's serving straight women what we're looking for, though.
Sure, but it's starting to get that feeling of like, I don't want to be mean, but it's combining the tighty whities, which is a throwback to original Sex and the City.
Maybe. So
I'm fine with that. But when you see a man of a certain age, it doesn't matter how fit he is. Not saying Aidan's not fit. Trust me, he's thinner than I am I think
he looks great.
But you get to a certain age. And the combination of the tighty whities and the body just was giving me creepy old man, stocky, going around. It was not sexy. If he was wearing different underwear,
how I always feel about tighty whities, though, because I feel like tighty whities just stink. They look smelly to me.
The butt part always looks like it's just sagging. I hate them.
Your penis always looks kind of small in them.
It
reminds me of a little boy always. And I remember when me and Justine saw Rocky Horror, and the Brad was wearing his tighty whities were it looked like he took a dump in them. They're way too big. And then he had that whole song in Act 2 that he's just walking around. All I was doing was staring at his penis, and it was not in a good way.
You know what? I hate tidy whities. Like,
get rid of them.
You know what? I'm cool with a brief, like a Calvin Klein brief, but a Hanes tidy whitey, like Aidan within 2 seconds of getting in his house instantly looks like a creeper that would like come flash you on the street. It is bothersome, and he stays basically like that for the whole scene.
Now, if I had been a writer in this writer's room, even though I hated this stupid bit from the last episode, I would at least, as a first-time writer, let me get to it. As a first time in the room, this would be my contribution, and I promise you it would get like a fucking standing ovation, because I promise you no one thought of it. So Carrie and Aidan are like, she's like in bed, he's walking around as tidy fucking righties, and I'd be like, why don't we put a reference to that goddamn chair in the corner there and have one of them trip over it? Right? Easy joke right there. And I think that's a smart joke. And then not reference it.
Here's the problem.
Then not reference it.
I think I'm smart, and I probably wouldn't even know what that. I wouldn't even know what that meant.
Your brain doesn't work the way mine does.
I think too. And if I wouldn't click that way, I think what I've been noticing. Wicked Watch 2024 still going strong on TikTok. The comments from people, and I've seen people's posts that are outright like, oh yeah, my dad is like, I just, the wizard must be going around, or no, who could possibly be the person giving Elphaba's mother that green liquid? Like, is this guy just like going around and doing this to all these people? It must be someone with magic powers, blah, blah, blah. And all the comments are like, wait, their mind's gonna be blown in Act 2. That's what this all feels like.
Yeah, like you're the smartest person in a room of audience members.
Yeah, and I think if you put the chair in the corner, the people would be like, I have no idea, because literally they can't even put 2 and 2 together that the person singing is, I don't even want to give it away now. I realized that is technically a spoiler. I thought that was so apparent.
I assume that was obvious too. It's so obvious. And you're right, wasn't him. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow on the roundup, but you're right, it isn't him. It isn't him.
His body.
It isn't his body.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you say that again? You're right.
I feel like I always say that. I feel like I'm always made to say that. I think that a chair bit would have been really good.
Of them tripping over the chair?
But then not mention it. Like if Aidan's like walking around and then he's like, oh, who put that chair is in a weird spot? Or if they just kind of do a light reference to it, I feel like an average comedy series would have done that.
I think for my nerves, I was about ready for them to get out of Che's apartment, because this whole hullabaloo of both of them having a lot of money, it seems, and you can't figure anything else out.
This is rental.
It doesn't.
Airbnb. Well, I guess what I'm saying. They're helping Che out though by doing. So I understand why they end up here. This is what how the amount of days of silent treatment Aidan would get if he's like, I've been talking to the people downstairs, and I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Last episode was spent with us dealing with this. What are you doing?
I think that Aidan
is slow.
So far in his return has been
diminishing returns.
Just like not. Maybe it's just he's not as charming as he was before. I don't know. There's something that's like, maybe it's the veneers. I don't know. There's something weird going on here where there's a disconnect for me of like, I used to have this feeling with Aidan that was like something, and now it's like he just looks very spray tanned, and he's like overacting in a weird way.
To me, he seems like a warm hug, like home. Oh. And also he's the nice guy that like didn't get away, I guess, but the nice guy that you like gave up to marry the bad boy.
I will say I was glad that they kind of slightly ditched the idea that Big was a big mistake.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Like
I don't think they do get into that.
That anymore. Pissed me off last episode. So
yeah, like you made a fucking decision, just be fine with it. And you were happy and you got to be pretentious and cute with your
for years.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's been tipping people downstairs. By the way, Aidan's son Wyatt doesn't like Carrie, as we said. So now Wyatt calls and he's like, "Dad, why didn't you call me?" And I'm like, this kid needs to connect with Brady and they can both like go off.
I totally got this kid. Sorry, not sorry. I would have been this kid. I still am this kid, honestly, to my mother sometimes. If she goes somewhere and then doesn't get a hold of me after the plane ride, I'm like, "Are you okay?"
I tracked your flight. I tracked the whole flight. I was worried you didn't get on the flight. So that's what's happening here. And I'm like, Jesus. Carrie looks amazing in her slip dress.
She looked amazing all episode. She
really did. But did she do an insanity workout?
I think she does Pilates, doesn't she? Isn't she famously
do this episode? She looked like rock hard, but she's wearing a slip dress, a see-through slip dress with a black bra, black underwear, and it was just never looked that good a day in my life. I never will. There's no possibility I could.
With Amanda, love yourself.
Amanda, you're beautiful.
Love yourself. Okay, I'm not going to say that because I think for any human being, it would be very hard to look like Sarah Jessica Parker's body in a dress. She's a millionaire, maybe almost at this point, a billionaire, depending on where she's invested her money. The bitch has all the time in the world to do that. Okay. I need to spend my free time watching TV. All right. Not working with a trainer.
Yeah, fuck that. It was time for that. Well, Seema, right? Oh, he's still they get a notice from the building, and their reaction literally is whoops. Che might get kicked out of their apartment. Oopsies. And he still refuses to go to Carrie's. She's like, maybe we can just go to my house. And he's like, I can't go back there. We'll never go back again. So,
I just feel like that's stupid too. I'm over that storyline.
I mean, seriously, you need to get over. And it does look different. She put up wallpaper.
It looks completely different, except the floors.
It's paid for fully.
He did those floors. He spent hours on his hands and
metal. What God? Have you?
Have you ever finished refinished hardwood floors? That's a job, darling. Jeez.
Okay, okay, but don't do a favor for someone if you're going to hold it over their head for the rest of your life, Joan.
Every favor I do for someone, I hold it over their head. For the rest of I'm just kidding.
You have a running checklist.
I literally am. I'm actually the complete opposite. Thank you. I
keep track of stuff like that a little bit without knowing it. Seema now. I like all of these storylines, honestly.
Same. I was like, okay.
This apartment for $37,000 a month.
Rave, or is his name Ravi or Rav?
No,
I think it's Ravi. I think it's Ravi.
Ravi.
You said Rave.
No, you just said Ravi.
I think you said it first.
Nope.
Guys, write in the comments. Did Amanda say it first? Anyway, Ravi looked 10,000 times better this episode than last episode, solely based on what he was wearing. He didn't have a dumb jacket tied in the center of it. And he wasn't wearing ugly, weird, big sunglass glasses things. He looked hot this episode. I was like, okay.
He doesn't think this is the best New York has to offer. And Seema's been being a total cunt to him, apparently.
We didn't mention that Ryan, I think his name's Ryan Searhart. That realtor is a guy who's famous, who's a famous realtor.
I don't follow stuff like that.
He's on that show $1 Million Listing New York, and he also has his own show now. Anyway, you guys would know if anyone else watches that show. Ryan Searhart.
And by the way, I was listening to you there. My mind just had 700 conversations with itself in that sentence because, okay, let's go down this with me. You know Heather McDonald?
Mm-hmm.
She had Dr. Drew on her show last week.
And
they interviewed Jeff Lewis. Third person you hate. Jeff Lewis is.
I like Jeff Lewis sometimes, but he did Brandy and Julie dirty.
Right,
sorry.
But then they stick with Heather. The whole thing is fascinating. I mean, I love watching that.
Yeah, sure.
But they had they interviewed Jeff Lewis's ex, who I think was he on $1 Million Listing? He was on something like that. Right?
I don't. He was on their show. They had a show, Flipping Out. Gage.
Okay. I was thinking that was pretty ballsy.
And that was that it? Or...
Well, I just thought it was really ballsy that she did that because her and Jeff Lewis are in a huge fight, and then she has Dr. Drew on, and then Dr. Drew like diagnosed whoever this ex-boyfriend was as a narcissist on her podcast. It was very messy.
Pretty sure that like, and as annoyed as I am by Jeff Lewis sometimes, I'm pretty sure Jeff Lewis would call himself a narcissist.
For sure.
Like I don't think that's groundbreaking information.
She hasn't responded to it this week, which I'm sure is like grinding her gears even more. But anyway, we won't talk about Heather McDonald.
You know, though, that's smart. Heather McDonald. Ugh. Anyway,
tell me. No, go ahead.
I fucking hate her. I hate her.
Me and Jody could talk about her for
I just don't like her vibe at all. It's like there's something about her that bugs me. And now plenty of people
watch the American Reality TV Awards that I'm making you watch because
you said it took 5 minutes, right?
I just said go through watch the presenter thingies and then just just do it like that. But your mouth will drop to the floor, and I'm not kidding. I am not in any way. Yes, my mouth dropped to the floor, but I digress.
From the presenters.
From the opening monologue.
Okay.
Mouth to the floor.
I can't wait.
Showing Ravi this apartment. Anyway, he's been putting off finding a good apartment. Closing on this apartment because he wants to spend more time with Seema.
Allegedly.
Well, anyway, they fuck, which is like fine. But like somebody else is in the. Oh, that's what we got in this conversation.
He actually has a. No, they actually get him out by one of the dumbest, most asinine ways ever, saying that he's like, Seema, I actually am going to go show an apartment on floor 12. I'll be right back. What? Okay.
It's better than Bobby Lee having like a diarrhea.
Oh, Lord.
Of Eggs Benedict.
Do we ever see Bobby Lee again?
Yeah, he comes to Carrie's dinner party.
Kidding me?
Just so you know, the next 2 episodes is Carrie hosting, like, obviously, a Last Supper dinner party. So it's like
at her apartment.
Cast of characters. Yes.
Oh,
it's actually not bad.
Yeah, that'll probably make me feel sad and nostalgic. But why isn't she keeping the apartment and renting it?
I think it's a dumb decision. Well, I know.
I figured she was keeping it and renting it to Lisette.
Well, I think that's what she should do. I think it might be no, I feel like she lets her buy it. Anyway. I feel like she gives it to her at like a low rate, but I truly don't remember how that
Lisette has money to buy.
No, she has that jewelry.
The show. Okay.
I think Carrie probably gives it to her at like a discounted rate, I assume, because Lisette reminds her of herself. Mm-hmm. And Carrie doesn't really need the money.
I feel like that's why they cast. That was the whole point of that character, is to like.
Yeah, like what if it was like a 40-year-old like Asian woman? She's not getting a discount on that shit.
No, if she wasn't skinny and had wild curly hair, then Carrie wouldn't give a fuck about her.
And wore next to nothing out in public.
Panties and like a jersey and Crocs.
And like, big and tall boots. And
makes boots. Ugly jewelry that gets stolen in Bryant Park. Anyway.
Great. So by the way, they fuck in this apartment that they're being shown. And this always bugs me. I've said this before, like on Grey's Anatomy, if they're fucking in a storage closet, they both they take off all their clothes, which is crazy. It's like, you need to get the deed done. What are you taking? Well, anyway, Seema and Robbie. The
fact that they were in bed.
They went all the way under the covers. They took the covers off? Are you taking a nap now?
Now, if you were going to fuck in an apartment that you were, buying or selling or something, I think
you should be allowed to test out the bed.
No. I think you should do it like in the bathroom or somewhere that's a little more like easier to like I'm not doing that around soft surfaces, like even on top of a bed. Do you not understand what I'm saying? If you're in a bathroom, at least there's tile, there's things you can like wipe off
afterward.
There's just usually things that are happening
over like a chair.
No, that's a soft surface.
No, like a hard chair, like this one. I feel like you could do a lot of damage in this chair, and then no one would ever know. What are you looking at?
Nothing. In the last couple hours, I've had a lot of things going on here where I literally 3 hours ago, I was like, ooh, smooth sailing. I'm ready to do this thing. Let's get on it. And then everything has come to a fucking head. Anyway,
no.
keep going.
Well, Miranda's out with Brady, and she wants him to go to Costa
myself,
Rica.
Amanda.
Okay. Well, she's like, you should go to Costa Rica and, work out your Spanish.
I think he's offered like an internship or something now.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I hate myself, but I thought Brady was
hot.
Hot.
Ew. I never think Brady's hot. Girl.
He has a lot of elements. He has a lot of elements though that I find to be hot. I absolutely love like a curl, like his hair. I love. And a lot of people would be like, clown looking motherfucker, but I love bright red and the curls.
Sure.
He has a big ass nose. He looks all gangly. He looks like he probably has a big dick.
He looks too much like the chef from Ratatouille, and I
love that. Oh, I love that.
Like a Pixar character.
I love that. I loved the outfit he was wearing. I thought his outfit looked really cool. He had this
what was he wearing?
This kind of denim hoodie that had like big pockets on the front, that had like big patch pockets on the front.
Okay.
Anyway, I was like, what's happening to me? Like,
well, Miranda's like here, so. Miranda. Well, I disagree with you.
Amanda disagrees, of course, but
well, I think Aidan's hot though. But
okay, so and see, I'm not saying I'm not into Aidan because he's old or anything, and it has nothing to do with that.
You like Brady because he's young. Okay, so anyway,
Amanda, no. That's why I was trying to put 2 and 2 together here. I'm not. No. God. See, I want to fuck Steve. See, I think it must be that Miranda and I have just like, a similar sensibility.
Okay. I want to fuck Steve too.
This episode had way too little Steve. In fact, there wasn't any Steve.
No, there wasn't any. But anyway, they have a conversation. She's like, I need you to go figure yourself out. And he's like, well, you didn't figure yourself out until age 56. So give me a break, Mom. It's like, okay, but guess what? I pay for your housing and food. I
think this whole thing is dumb. And then the last part of it where he's like, yeah, like I have at least 36 more years or 38 more years until I can do it. And she's like, see, Brady, you're so good at math. Just
look how fast
he can take 56 minus 18.
I don't think I'd be able to do that quick in my head, honestly. I'm really bad at that kind of shit. Charlotte. Oh, but anyway, Charlotte's at home with the fam. Harry is stressed out because Charlotte's working late one fucking time, but Harry is frazzled. So Charlotte asks Lily if she wants to go visit Brady, because they used to hang out like one time at age 16. And I think Charlotte and Miranda are in cahoots here. It's a collusion to have Lily be a good influence on the misdirected Brady.
But I'm slightly surprised that anyone is surprised, because 2 episodes previous, Lily was trying to get fucked. So like, Charlotte, are you really shocked that she gets like
right? Anyway, LTW now and George Washington are in her closet. I don't like this. It makes me feel very claustrophobic that they have all of their scenes in her closet, which I guess is where her office is, and I don't love that. I don't like the optics of that for some reason.
No, I don't either. I agree.
But some people do that because I think like for zooming and stuff, like it's better quality or lighting, or I don't know.
Fine, but I need windows and shit. I could never sit in a room with no windows and work on a desk. And
it also just optically, it just seems like, why does the woman have to put her office in the fucking closet out of the way?
Well, where's George Washington's office?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, they're in her closet, and her doc might be made into a movie. And then my next note was just these two have really. And I think
they said it was going to be a TV series.
Her movie, might be made into a TV series
for PBS.
Oh,
her whole thing is, guys, we could probably just almost skip her entire thing. Here's what her storyline is this episode. She keeps falling asleep because she's so tired, but There's a reason that she's
There's a
tired.
Oh, well, let's wait because we'll give that away at the end if you already can't tell what that obviously is going to be. Well, anyway, these two have really good chemistry, was my point. Next, we smash cut to some like super gratuitous sex that I just don't need. It's Nya.
I didn't need it either, but at the same
And
time, I was like, okay, well, at least she's getting dicked. I don't know.
yeah,
Like,
she's digged down by this like
her
very
storyline
very
though bothered
young-looking.
me this episode.
I actually really loved this storyline.
I didn't hate it, but what bothered me is the revelation that comes.
Oh, see, that's what I related to so much.
What do you did? Mean? I'm just maybe I'm confused on the passage of time. It does not feel like that long since Andre Rashad moved out of the apartment.
The timeline is all over the place in this thing, but well, it's spring because Harry at one point says, how do you need a coat rack for a spring party? So we're in spring.
So it could be 6 months.
So Halloween, was she broken up with Andre Rashad at Halloween? I think maybe that was the episode they did-ish break up. So yeah, that's about 6 months-ish. November, December, January.
Men ain't shit. That's what that means. Men aren't.
But that was so unsurprising. Men, of course, he had someone else lined up. He probably has fucked several other women before this one that he posted, but I digress. Men usually don't leave unless they have someone else lined up. That's like an actual statistic.
Did he leave though?
Remember she called him and he's like, there's another girl in the room, and he's like, I didn't do anything yet, but I might because you don't want to have a baby. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he sucks. Well,
he's so desperate to inseminate someone for fuck's sake.
Love men like that. That's not toxic at all.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be there for that child at every step of its life.
For sure, they usually are.
I'm sure.
Very gratuitous though. But Miranda, see, I would be so mad at I'd be so mad at my roommate, especially we're not in college and we're both horny for the first time. It's like, we're getting it. It's like, we're in our 50s. Like, can you be a little more respectful? And also, like, I don't want to, that's gross. I can't really look at you the same way if I'm hearing you get eaten out inches away from me.
Well, I'm going to take a different thought here. And I would also say, Miranda, find somewhere else to live.
That's another great.
Why in God's name are you doing this? You are a fully successful, you have plenty of fucking money. Get yourself an Airbnb. God, go stay somewhere for a month. I can't do this. Why are you staying with her?
When we find out that the only available bathroom is in Nya's room. No, we're working that out beforehand though. Because if this guy's going in there last night, I'm like, I'm going to need to shit my brains out by 8:30 a.m. So I will be entering your room regardless. All of this would be planned
no
out.
way that I would have. Well, one, I'm at a point past having roommates.
You don't have a door in your bed.
I could not have a roommate come into my bedroom.
Right.
Into my bathroom and blow it up every day. And then me just be like, cool. Go about my day. Like they just
like your partner, probably, right? But
with a partner, yes, but my roommate.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, your shit particles are floating around in my bedroom. Yay! Because you took a massive dump.
Well, that's a weird situation too, because the way her apartment is laid out, I don't think that apartment would be laid out like that, because her apartment is just classic New York, like open room, 2 bedrooms. They wouldn't just put the bathroom in 1 bedroom. That doesn't make any logistical sense.
Agreed. Unless Miranda's room was, but even then, I don't know if I've ever been. Oh, wait. There was an apartment that the 136, the bathrooms were in the bedrooms.
Yeah, but each person had a bathroom.
That's true. But
that was a pretty classic Arizona layout too, because my apartment on Baseline was exactly laid out like that. We each had our own bathroom. Oh, which was a great. Every apartment should be designed like that.
I agree, but I also think there should be an individual guest bathroom.
Yes, I agree. I love having a separate bathroom. Whenever Rob sleeps over at about 6:30 a.m., I'm always like, gotta go feed the cats. So then I just blow up the bathroom while I'm feeding the cats with all the sinks running. I'm like hitting the wall.
You're like, actually, I store the food in the bathroom and I need to, it's a process, okay? It's a process.
Yeah,
if you hear things
then I
going on,
decided to clean the whole kitchen and spray, deodorizer. And I actually mopped the whole floor while I was down there. Okay, well, anyway, Nya's living her skanky single life and she's loving it. I don't like this guy. He's like super young and like he has long hair. I really
he looked young the first scenes, and then the last scene where he's leaving, I was like, oh, he looks closer in age. But let's not forget, Nya is younger than both of us.
Yeah, she's like 36. She looks great. I mean, when she's in bed, I'm like, I'd be into that.
I would disagree, unfortunately. I do not believe she looks about 20 years younger than the other women in this at all.
I'm not saying that she doesn't look that age. I'm just saying she looks hot.
Oh, she looks good.
Yes.
I'm just anyway. It makes sense why they didn't bring her back.
To wrap my head around ages, though. Me and Jody just recorded an episode of Small Wonder, and like the mom is 33 and she looks like 50, like from 1980. At Che's vet clinic, some non-binary person, what's the name? Toby, brings in a box of kittens.
Bald.
Now listen to this. The vet says, no, we're overstocked here with kittens. Bring them down the street to Angelical Cats. And guess what? That's where Latrice is from.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a real place.
It's a real place. Angelical. I don't know if they really have a place down the street. I'm pretty sure it's like an online foster program. But
that's
either
cute.
way, that's cool that they actually did like name them.
Oh, geez.
That's really cute. Anyway. Toby recognizes Che.
They're like, has anyone ever told you look like famous comedian Che Diaz?
God.
And Che's like, nope, never. And they're like, and then doesn't Che say something like, yeah, I think that I've heard they work on this, whatever this vet clinic's called. And then it's like, sparks fly.
Yeah, fine. So they're setting that up.
I guess, but why does Toby need to be 20 years old? You go from Miranda to Toby? What?
Yeah, but Sarah Ramirez is only like 40 something.
Still. Toby looked 23. No joke.
You couldn't date a 23-year-old?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'd fuck a 23-year-old, but I would.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Thank you. I would never date one because.
But then I'd be like, time to go.
Unless they were incredibly accomplished in their life, but then at the same time,
how would that be if they were like a TikTok star?
No, if they were a nepo baby.
Oh, a nepo baby.
But I'm pretty sure they would be like judging the shit out of me at my grand old age. No, I would never date a 23-year-old. There you go. Thank you. End of story.
Well, I
think you'd need to be about over 30 at this point.
Yeah. Seema and Carrie now. Oh, wait, sorry. Che brings Carrie a kitten. Oh, that's right. This is outrageous.
I loved it. And I literally stopped listening to the scene because I just was looking at the kitten.
It's a cute little kitten, but this is an outrageous and overstep in a friendship here. But here,
I'm assuming they don't keep the kitten though, right?
She actually does. I showed some pictures at some point while we were covering this season in News and Gossip where Sarah Jessica Parker is like holding the kitten.
Oh.
And she names the kitten Shoe, which I think is actually kind of cute. SHOE. Sure. I think that's cute.
Is.
And it's also kind of speaks for Carrie too, because Carrie's not like an animal person. So it's like, I'll name you Shoe, I guess. But anyway, Carrie, she keeps the kitten.
It's like when people name their dog or like cat.
Didn't Schwartz and Katie call their lizard dog?
Schwartz called his lizard dog and it died within 2 weeks.
I know.
A lizard that I think they say is supposed to live like 10 or 20 years or something. Anyway.
He did seem genuinely sad about that, I will say that. Anyway.
Not sad enough to keep it alive, but.
It seems like Che and Carrie really need boundaries. But anyway, Seema and Robbie meet Aidan and Carrie for dinner. That's pretty much it. That's literally all we need to know.
And Aidan found girls out.
Oh yeah, because
Aidan's like, you're the director of whatever kung fu. I can't remember what the hell they called it.
Did they make something up?
He's like, how have you even heard of this movie? And he's like, my boys, or I can't even do an Aidan voice. My boys love this movie so much. He doesn't even have.
What did you go into right at the end there?
It was like old man who like sits on his porch and like
you went into one of these.
Choose a piece of hay.
Out of your mouth.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Anthony and Giuseppe now are out on a date, and Anthony's nervous about fucking, and he doesn't invite.
They don't give a single clue about that though.
Not at all. He's just like, no, you can't come up. So we're left to wonder, why doesn't he want to get fucked? But we'll find out later.
Oh, no, it doesn't even connect it to, no, we don't even question that. Do we? Well, I do. I mean, I do because shit, I'd have been.
Want the green card?
It'd have been more than. Giuseppe and I, it wouldn't have taken 5 dinners. No, about one dinner, and if he's standing at the foot of my steps
with a boner,
begging me to come up. Honey, I'd marry the man that day if he's fucking if it's Giuseppe. I mean, he's cute.
Like,
and
nice.
What I'll say is this: the way. Can I just skip to what ends up happening?
Yes,
anyway,
nothing really happened.
Anthony then decides, out of the blue, I guess, that he thinks that Giuseppe just wants him for a green card.
No, I get what they should have taken more time to develop.
Thank you, because it jumped from.
Why would he want to be with me? They needed to develop that a little more.
Thank you. Because they should have said that with Charlotte. He should have had that conversation a little bit with someone. But the conversation he does end up resolving and having with Giuseppe, I'm jumping to the end of their storyline to this episode, but I don't care. I actually kind of teared up a little bit because Anthony's thing was like, how could someone who's, beautiful, young, like amazing like you want someone like me? And then he's like, I think you're, whatever the hell Giuseppe says. And then Anthony looks so... Oh, that he says that he doesn't need a green card because he has dual citizenship. My mother is from Buffalo. And then Anthony looks so happy and just like, I'm like, oh, because like I would get it if I was if I were Anthony, I would definitely be like, I've questioned. I mean, my bitch ass has been over here. How am I? 2 episodes ago, guys, I'm like, how the fuck this would never happen? And then I'm crying over the resolution in this episode.
Well, he can't relax for too long though, Joan, because next episode we're getting into that dick.
The problem is I don't really see a lot of chemistry between the two of them.
They're fine.
I think Giuseppe gives chemistry. I don't get... Maybe it's just because Anthony Marantino is never a character that has been about all of that.
Yeah, I know.
It's always been a very tokeny, even more of a token than Stanford was. Anthony comes in, says his extra bitchy shit, is a queenie Italian gay from New York, and there you go. Like, and so
we have to appreciate this. And he is pulling it off. He's a good actor.
I guess we can appreciate it, except I do wish, spoiler alert, I wish it wasn't that he gets butt fucked at the end. That doesn't give me the resolution of like, oh, that's a beautiful story.
Well, the story continues though.
In season 3.
Is still unwritten.
Imagine they write off Giuseppe.
Seema and Carrie are in the back. I would not be surprised. And they just never got mentioned. Seema and Carrie talk in the bathroom, and Carrie's like, so where is this going with you and Robbie? And Seema's like, you need to calm down. Like, this is not happening. He's like never here, and like he is a Marvel producer, and I see all these bitches constantly like hitting him up in his DMs and all these TikTok women. And Carrie believes in love, so she's pushing it, and Seema's like, ugh. So get that. And then she's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And Carrie goes, okay, new topic, my apartment. I'm like, how long is Carrie fucking waiting to bring this up?
Yeah.
So now Carrie takes a look at, now it's today I'm watching this. Carrie is at her new apartment with Miranda looking great in that.
And Charlotte looks great too.
Yes. Carrie's. Is this what Charlotte's wearing
These
in this scene
outfits.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is all three of them.
So this outfit is giving Imelda Marcos shoulders.
Oh.
I believe this is that style is a traditional Filipino or Philippines
Dress.
So when you see it on her, I'm like, oh, okay. And did you notice Carrie's jacket is like a painter's
it's like the
smock and it has paint all over it. I really love this. The outfits in all of it. I love in this scene. And this apartment. I
loved it. Listen, I love anything that's like looks like, well, I know hers is 2 floors, but I love something where most of the things are on 1 floor. Because I can't walk upstairs, Joan. But I want to say I got to give credit to Charlotte for bringing back the floral look in this episode because she's wearing floral pieces. And I got to say, the floral industry took a real hit in the past few years because of Robin Brown. I have legitimately donated and I used to wear a lot of blouses.
Amanda,
what?
I don't think anyone else in the world is thinking.
I think you sound really ignorant right now.
When you see someone's looking in their closet and they're like, I can't wear these florals. Robin Brown wears florals.
I can guarantee you that thousands of women have that thought. Should I go with
I'm going to need proof. But I agree.
I'm writing when you want me to ask people in Brown Town, and I can get the live chat to come after you real hard. All right.
Do it.
I will.
Do a poll. Did you stop wearing florals after Robin? And then send people over to our channel.
Yes, perfect. That'll be a good segue.
One thing we're not there yet, but Carrie had an outfit later that I wanted to wear it, and I just loved it.
The one that she wears to the party?
No, she wears it to the lunch with Aidan's wife.
Oh yeah, Rosemary.
She's like in a green dress with a matching green bomber jacket and a green like purse, like the whole. Oh my god, I love that monochromatic like.
Yeah, it was good.
Monochromatic, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Miranda, she's like, Carrie's like, I'm buying it and I'm getting rid of my old apartment. And they're like, what the fuck? And she's like, well, why am I holding on to it really? And I'm like, in case this relationship goes south like it usually does, you'll have your old apartment, your whole identity, you won't have sold to someone else.
Yeah, I also think if you, it's just hard. I don't know. I'm such a sentimental person that like I would never like if like I have my house that I am in right now, and like when I move later, like I can't imagine selling my house because I'm like, oh, well, it was my first little place and blah blah blah. Blah.
Well, Carrie gets a call from Aidan's ex now to go and have coffee. I guess since there are kids involved, fine. If there are no kids involved, I don't need to meet with your ass. I don't even know you exist.
I wouldn't want to do this. And I just, the whole thing was kind of awkward.
I kind of like that storyline because there are kids involved and she does need to stay in Aidan's life. Well, let's get here. Nya wakes up with her blonde young thing and they have some stinky morning sex because you know that neither of them get up and use that bathroom. They just go.
I can't. Stinky. I would never be able to do that.
Actually, I think it does show and he's just fingering her, but still, that's stinky too. Miranda's listening to it, and Miranda's like, I need to shit. So then Miranda goes back to her own house. Jeez,
sorry, y'all.
That's okay. Hi, Latrice.
She goes and shits.
That's why she goes back to her apartment in Brooklyn to shit. And she runs into Lily, who's coming out of Brady's room wearing only a t-shirt, bad pull out, and she's like, oh my god, and she's like, oh hi Mrs.
She says hi Aunt Miranda.
Aunt Miranda,
which is awkward.
So that's awkward, but fine. So that scene's over.
Well, they're in love now, so and in a weird way it makes sense.
Obviously this was gonna, well, I mean, you saw this coming from the top of this episode, but she calls Charlotte. Charlotte's like, no, there's no way. And now they hit up a Chipotle gotta say, Jody mentioned Chipotle. She said, like, there's not a Chipotle near me. And I'm like, not Chipotle near me either. And like, I think honestly, like during the pandemic, I think I ordered from Chipotle like 4 times a week.
I had Chipotle yesterday. I love Chipotle.
I love it so much. It's so good. What is it though? Because we have burrito places here, but it's like it's not the same.
I don't know. I mean, I hate to say that it's fresh because they did give a bunch of people like, you know, a bunch of illnesses and stuff, didn't
That comes
they?
with
Like
being fresh, though,
salmonella and
actually.
all
That
that
actually
stuff.
makes me feel like it is more fresh because you mostly get it from lettuce, Joan, from unwashed produce. I learned about that on the Doughboys.
Great.
So great. So Charlotte now says to Harry, anyway, Charlotte and Miranda are just going back and forth, like, what if? So now Charlotte's back at home. Harry's worrying about, because I guess Harry is he Herbert's campaign manager or something? Did that happen? Because he is.
Oh,
right?
I must have missed that.
Well, no, I don't think it was said. I just had to piece it together, but he was.
No. I think it was because they were hosting it at their house. That's like, if it were on Housewives, like Sonia has had parties at her former townhouse, and she'll be like, thank you everyone so much for, like, her very first season, her first introductory thing was her having an art event, I think, at her townhouse. And that was back before she was like as whacked out as she is now. And she was very put together then. She's like, hi everyone.
My.
Welcome. Yeah. She has changed, but
okay, well now anyway, Charlotte's like, well, what's this could be good, this could be bad about the kids fucking. I'm still not even sure if they are, but like, oh my god, what if they break up? I'm gonna have to take Lily's side, and that's gonna affect my relationship with Miranda. Oh, but maybe they'll get married. Oh, but then she's gonna have Miranda as a mother-in-law. She seems like she could be really difficult, or they could be like really, really good friends. And then Harry says, so are you supposed to have a coat rack if you host a spring party? And Charlotte goes, I don't know. And he goes, nobody knows. And I was like, it made me have to piece together what was happening later. Anyway,
it just was a bunch of stuff I didn't care about.
Anyway, that scene didn't need to happen is really what I'm saying. Now we're at the event and LTW is running late. And okay, now I'm going to say that, ooh, baby, there was a joke in here, this dumpling joke that I was like, I was like so proud of the writers for. I feel like I'm going to tell you and you're going to be like, that's not what the joke was. And you made that up in your head.
Okay, I can't wait to hear what you think it was. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay, well, first, my next one here is, okay, now.
Were they making a reference to Seinfeld episode?
No, it wasn't a reference. It was just a respectably put in their joke. And I feel like there was a rogue writer in the room here, because my next note is, what is this dumpling joke? Because you and me hate how they'll tell you what the punchline is and then they'll explain it to you. But this one, they don't over explain anything. They put this little part of this joke at the beginning, and I rewound it a couple times. I was like, what, did I miss something? So they're at this event and there's these two random older couple, and
Jewish couple is what
Jewish couple,
because
because that's what the tag is. Yeah. So they introduce themselves, and then the main characters walk away, and it's just this couple. And then she goes, oh, no, this is too good. These are the lines. And he goes, no, you need to get over it. It's fine. It was just that one time. And she goes, no, it tastes too good. And she throws her dumpling away. And that is completely unexplained. It was like Mulholland Drive. So then it comes back.
I thought that kind of explained itself, but
really?
Because earlier Charlotte's asking and talking about kosher.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay,
then
it isn't that good of a joke then. Okay.
And so, but I did still like it because then they later like tie it up.
They button it way later in the scene. It is the button of the scene and of that joke. And
the reason she's saying is because one of the times it must have had pork in it or something. They don't. She knows it tastes too good.
The button of the whole scene, like 5 minutes later, is just her leaning over and going, "Don't try the dumplings. I don't think they're kosher." I was like, "Hey, I just appreciated that they trusted us with that, but maybe they didn't if it was explained earlier. But
did they trust us by explaining
well, apparently not, because you already got well, anyway. That would have been a good joke. Miranda arrives with Brady. This was a cute little scene, and Carrie's like, "Hey, Brady," and she kind of gives him a little like hair tussle. And
she's like, "You just jizzed in Lily, yay!"
Right. But Miranda's very funny in the scene because Brady's like goes off to find Lily, and Miranda's like, "Bye, Brady." They're definitely fucking. There's no way he would have agreed to come with me to this event. No offense. And Carrie's like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Well, we were gonna try to shield you from this, but we're pretty sure that they're fucking." And Carrie's like, "Oh my god, it's like hearing my stuffed animals are doing it." And now Victor Garber arrives.
Victor Garber.
Back at Nya's. Oh, this scene I thought was really good and relatable.
The way it went down.
Just because she's having this great sex, she's obviously like feeling herself. And it's like, she's got a great situation here where this guy comes over, they just sit in bed and scroll through TikTok until they're ready for like round 3 or 4 of fucking. They don't have to talk that much. So she seems just really content. And he's like, "Oh, the weather is going to be better tomorrow." And she's like, "Oh, all right." And then right at that moment, she scrolls past Andre Rashad, which, I mean, rookie mistake. You shouldn't still be friends on social media, but he has posted like a fucking douchebag man would do. And don't you tell me that they don't know exactly what they're doing, because they do.
Oh no.
He has now posted a picture of himself with another woman, which is truly just evil. You know exactly what you're doing, and you're posting it for your ex. That's why
he wasn't just posting a picture with another woman. The other woman was pregnant. Did you miss that?
Oh my god, I missed that. Yeah, I did miss that.
It's like him holding the stomach and hurt, and it said "coming soon."
Okay, well then if she already has a stomach, then he was definitely fucking this woman before. I wonder if this is the woman from the hotel room.
That's what I'm like. That's the part I was like bugged out by, because I was like, ew, really? Like, you've already gotten a girl pregnant.
Okay, but you don't like that storyline because that shit is real.
Oh no, I think if I were a straight girl, I would have already lived that. And I'm pretty sure I have lived that through friends. I'm pretty sure friends of mine have had that happen to them. Because men, again, ain't shit.
They ain't shit. So she kicks the dude out. She's like, "I need you to leave." And he's like, "Oh, well, do you want me to? I can come back later." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever." It was just really depressing and like, ugh, it's hard. It's hard to see that.
Yeah.
When you're especially 5 months later. Like there's no way they're even divorced yet.
No. And in fact, I would go outright. I'd lose my mind. I'd go insane. I'd go insane. I would need to be committed to an insane asylum if someone did that to me.
What would be your route? Like, would you like go and like search everything on social media and like you need to know every piece of information, or you would just spiral and like walk
I would just need I'd need the one photo and it would be done. And I would hate this man forever.
Right.
Because there's something very like children. How do I put this? Children makes the situation very final. And like, there's been guys that I have, trust me, there's been guys, how do I say this? Maybe I should talk about this more on that would be a Patreon subject. Anyway, there have been guys that maybe I've been like, oh, you know, someday down the road, they might get with it and realize like that they want some dick here. And then they have a child and I'm like, oh, well, there we go.
That's that. My favorite book in the world, The Man of My Dreams, ends like that. The whole book is leading up to, it's this character who's very much like me. That's why I like it. She's a very like introverted, and in her head, she falls in love with this guy and she like moves her whole life for him just on a whim. Like, this is the love of my life. And then the whole last chapter is her like writing a letter to her therapist telling her what happened. And she goes there and he's like, yay. Oh, but I do have a girlfriend. I forgot to tell you. And then they're like best friends and they hang out all the time. And then the girlfriend's jealous and then they break up. So then this girl's like, well, maybe we're going to get together. But then he gets another girlfriend and she's like, well, I'll just wait this one out. And then he gets this girl pregnant and they like run off and then she has to like leave. And it's so depressing reading it too, because you're like, oh fuck.
That would okay.
And she's like, and in the book, she's like, I realized like it had nothing to do with like this girlfriend or this girlfriend. It was just not me. And like maybe down the road he would come back to me.
Well,
but that's like, what's the point?
Isn't that the tale as old as time? A guy can be with someone for like fucking 12 years. They never want to commit. They never anything. Then they break up because they don't want to get married. And then 2 months later, they're like engaged to someone else.
Really, there's got to be some study done about that.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
But doesn't it all just go back to what Miranda says in Sex and the City, that their taxi light is on?
Yeah, but it goes back to that you just weren't the person. It wasn't that they didn't want it. It's that they didn't want it with you, unfortunately.
But then I will say, in that situation, as hard as it is to put yourself in that mindset, you will be the person that got away. Because when things go ultimately south with this person that they're with, when that goes south, which it will, you will still be there as like, damn.
Well, and that person definitely is living in an impulsive way that I wouldn't want to be a part of. If you're willing to drop me and all that for that, I wouldn't want to keep it. Anyway, we're running long now, so I'm like,
no, but it's. I mean, we're still on topic. Shockingly,
yeah, that's true.
This is what's happening to Nya, so that's sad. Also, Nya's not coming back. Now I'm into her storyline too.
I was starting to be like, ooh, I like this Nya gets her groove back story, and it's like the only story about actually like someone having sex that I want to know about.
Sure. Like, well, LTW and George Washington, that's pretty hot.
They don't have sex they don't have like. To me, their storyline isn't like fucking.
Well, yeah, right. Well, at the party, we're back at the party. Carrie's talking to Anthony, who says, I think that 2 words, green card. And Anthony introduces.
This came out of nowhere, but.
Anthony introduces Giuseppe and Carrie. And then he's like, meet Carrie, great friend, no hidden agenda.
And he just walks away. Then Giuseppe's like, does she have oil paintings of her dogs on her wall? And she's like, yes. And he's like, are their names Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton? And Carrie's like, yeah. And he's like, and see, I thought we were not going to have anything to talk about. Mamma mia!
You sound okay. You saved it with the Mamma mia, but you're really going Swedish halfway in the middle.
What? I thought I was going very Italian, like true Italian.
You do more of these.
Yes, but that is not Giuseppe. Giuseppe is a poet.
Oh, true. Okay, well, Harry. Now there's this insane storyline where Harry apparently thinks that Victor Garber's in love with Charlotte,
which is what I predicted was going to happen.
Yeah,
like,
but why else even have
why even have the character? This is like the biggest waste so far of Victor Garber, unless something happens in the next 2 episodes.
If you think of Victor, like, who is your Victor Garber?
What do you mean?
When you think of Victor Garber, who's the character that he plays? The first one you think of?
Oh dear.
Where's my Vaseline?
Didn't he play the guy in Legally Blonde?
Oh yeah, you're right. He did.
He played Professor Cunningham.
He's in Titanic. That's kind of where he first came.
Yes, Titanic. And then
Godspell.
Yeah.
Anthony and Sweeney Todd.
Oh, what else though? He was in something else that we would. Oh, duh. First Wives Club.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen it once.
What?
No, I've seen the last scene
1,000
times, obviously.
No, I've seen the entire movie start to finish at least 100 times.
We should do that on the Patreon one day.
Okay, I would so do it. I love.
I love Bette Midler.
Bette Midler's in it. Goldie Hawn is so fucking funny in that movie.
Okay, I'll watch it. Okay.
Yeah, bitch.
All right, Miranda and Charlotte are spying on the kids. Also, just talk to them. It's out in the open that they fucked. They obviously fucked. You caught them.
Yeah, I would be.
There's no question. Just be like, hey, listen, we know you two are like each other, so maybe like just sit them down and be like, make sure that you're on birth control and you're using condoms, right?
Yeah.
Just let's talk about this and just make sure you know what you're doing here. You don't have to follow them around.
This is one of the reasons I'm so like I'm glad I'm not a parent. I can't imagine having a child and then thinking that they're getting dicked down somewhere. I would cry my eyes out thinking People do it all day. I mean, people have kids that happens all day, but I feel like I would be so upset. Not in like a way that I don't think they should have sex, but just in a way that like time moves on and all that.
I wish there was technology. I feel like this should be more focused on. There should be some kind of technology for a non-hormonal and non-invasive thing, like a birth control that you're just kind of on your whole life, like a vitamin. And then, but it's not going to hurt your body. And I know my body, my choice, it gets into that part, but like,
I like this idea,
pretty much everything. And then when you decide to have kids, you just take a different pill or vitamin, or you stop taking those vitamins.
I think this is like an interesting idea, but with the way things are going, I'm really not seeing that happening.
Well, I know, but
unless some people pull the sticks out of their asses. I think that's a great idea.
Just like actually, I think every car should have a breathalyzer on it.
I think every man should have a vasectomy when they're young.
Yes,
then reverse it.
That's why I said non-invasive, because some of those they're not that easily reversible. It's not 100%.
Don't care.
Sure. I don't care either.
I think you should then have your penis locked up until you can pass a test that you should be deserved, that you should be allowed to have sex and all that.
Just freeze your sperm in your teens and then use that when you want it. I feel like that's probably where the world is going with all our technology. Do you not agree? That's a better system than what we have going on now.
I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know about that.
Oh no, let's just let everyone bone and just free for all out there.
Free rights, right? Or
everything's
freedom.
Great. Don't change a thing. Well, anyway. Also, no one come after me. I don't actually really think about this that much, but
I do.
I guess I do, but like I'm not taking a stand on it.
I think birth control should be free on every corner.
Well, obviously,
free,
and tampons should also be free. It's crazy.
Agreed. Agreed.
Also, men should want tampons to be more easily accessible.
Agreed.
Periods are gross. Carrie. Okay, so now Carrie meets with Rosemary DeWitt, who I know.
That's who this was.
She's got the most interesting nose out there.
I was like, I know who this is. How do I know who this is?
She's from Mad Men. That's kind of how I know her the most. Mm-hmm. She's been on like a bunch. She's been on everything. And she is Aidan's ex. And I thought the scene was played very well. And like, it's awkward too, because it's like, well, now my ex-husband, arguably maybe the love of this woman's life, didn't work out. And now he's back with the one that got away. That's gotta bug a little bit.
Well, I thought that is why I thought this conversation, if I were the wife, I would be agitated somewhat. Because Carrie's acting like, well, you know, I'm going to move into this new apartment so that there's room for the boys and blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, you've been fucking this man back now, what, for a month? Like, how long have you guys been back together? And now it's all hunky-dory. And I'm sure, you know, when you are in relationships, you do often talk about past relationships. And I'm sure that she's heard all about what Carrie did too. And Carrie really was the reason that they broke up.
Okay.
Wasn't she?
No, I think I was trying to look this up earlier, but there was no easy answer because then all the articles kept taking me to end just like that. But I think he was separated in, what's it called? In Morocco or wherever they are. Abu Dhabi. I think he was in the clear when they kissed in Abu Dhabi.
No, I don't care about that. I'm more saying when they broke up before, Carrie and Aidan. Carrie and Aidan broke up. It was her fault. She hurt him. That's what I was trying to say. Not when he broke up with his wife. I don't care about that.
Right.
I care more like, because her whole thing is like, don't hurt Aidan, because, you know, last time it was just him, but now it's my children and all of that. And that's important. That is an important storyline to consider when people have children.
Because she does have to stay in his life. And that's gotta hurt, especially if she still has feelings for Aidan. It's gotta suck to know that, like, oh my God, and now I have to see this woman.
Yeah.
This is like the one that got away that now I have to enter. That sucks all around. And Carrie doesn't really seem that empathetic to the situation, I gotta say, because she goes, well, I'm actually pretty clear on, she goes, Kathy, I'm very well acquainted with our history. Okay, well, so is the rest of the world, Carrie, because first of all, you've written about it in your book. So By the way, could you not write about my fucking kids in your column, Carrie? He's like, I would never. Oh, wouldn't you? Well,
Exactly.
I figured I might as well ask just in case. So, great. Anyway, Carrie goes up and gets her tea. I guess this will all work out, but it was a good conversation that ends. Carrie now shows Aidan the apartment that she bought. And she's like, I'm selling my own apartment. And Aidan's like, it has to be your decision, Carrie. I can't just have you doing this for me. We're happy. And she's like, well, this fucking classic pick-me behavior.
But it is kind of for you, Aidan. Sorry.
Kathy, what?
It is kind of for Aidan, isn't it?
Well, yes.
He's the one who refuses to go to Carrie's house.
We just ended this conversation with Rosemary DeWitt, where she's like, let's just keep this between us. And then Carrie goes, Kathy told me that I can never hurt you again. I wasn't planning on telling you, but well, what do you think about that? It's like, you went out with her like this morning.
That's manipulative, incredibly.
Already
you're trying to make her look bad too. Like,
yes,
yeah,
I wasn't
Carrie,
gonna tell you, but I couldn't wait another hour.
Because that was so hurtful. Like, here's the thing, Carrie, you were with Aidan, right, for this much time, okay? Now he's been with his wife and 3 children for this much time. Yeah. So, okay, what happens then is like there's a lot more at stake this time.
Other people are being affected by your actions.
One of the first times Carrie might need to recognize that, but
sure. Well, anyway, he's like, don't worry, Carrie. We're both going to keep hurting each other. That's what love is. Life is just too short, Carrie. Then he's like,
and he also was like, this place is so big. Carrie. These are the things where I'm like, ew. He's like going room to room being like, echo. I'm like, ew.
You know, I think is one of his funniest moments is that episode where Carrie, I think it's called The Good Fight, where she's like annoyed with, it might not be The Good Fight, but it's an episode where she's annoyed with him, and at the end she's like, I need you to just give me a half an hour when I walk in to not be all up on me.
But the one where the house is filled with all the shit, he has boxes and shit, and and he blocks her second door to the bathroom, and he's like, why do you need the other door? And she's like, that's why I need a second door.
But it's in the part where he's like, where she's like, oh, Pete. They're talking about the dog, Pete. And he's like, no, right, Pete. Pete would never want to do that to you. Right, Pete. Right. And he's like kind of down, like fucking with the dog. And he's like in his underwear. And he's like, just, it's such a perfect moment of like, he's being funny. But if you're annoyed with him already at that point, like you'd want to shoot him in the face.
I'm sorry. Who thinks that's funny? I would want to kick him so hard in the balls in that moment. I'd be like, shut the fuck
he's
up.
Like misdirecting, and he's just
oh my god.
But it's such a well played scene. Well, anyway, he leaves for his flight. Now, oh, by the way, LTW is pregnant. That happened a couple scenes ago.
Now, was this the thing you were kind of like teasing to me that something will happen? And I was predicting that someone else was going to, Carrie or someone was going to be pregnant.
No, something else happens now with this.
Oh.
You can probably also predict.
Well, I'm assuming only, unfortunately, because we have seen the shooting of season 3, LTW is not looking very pregnant in season 3. Well, I'm assuming she loses the baby, yeah?
Yes.
I mean, sorry guys to spoil, but
when it's revealed,
she's in skin tight outfits next season.
Right, she looks amazing. Well, anyway, when she tells him, he is shocked, George Washington, but he seems really, really excited. Which I was actually
very excited.
Right, and as look, I'm not even judging him for that. It's just as a person who just doesn't want kids, I was shocked that was his reaction.
I think that if you are successful, not saying we're not successful, but if you have a ton of money and you can do it,
true,
and you already have a couple, why not?
And their kids are not actually that old. Their kids are like 10.
Their kids are. So they have the older kid who's like a teenager who was getting like a hand job at school last week, and then they have like the 2 little ones that are like 8.
Right. So it's not like I guess right. Rich people think differently.
Because they have all the resources they could possibly need, and their children also are like perfect little geniuses so far.
And then there's kind of that little underlying misogyny and like that's kind of embedded in a lot of men.
Oh, where he's like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that.
Another seed out
I
there.
bred that bitch. Yeah,
and I think
all
there
of
is
that.
just a little
Ew.
deeply-rooted patriarchy that's unfortunately in most men. Carrie meets the downstairs neighbor, and she Giselle.
After not seeing her for 5 episodes, Lisette gets out, like stumbles out of the building, is on the phone, is like, oh fuck, what? Holy shit, my Uber's here. And Carrie's like, what's going on, Lisette? And Lisette's like, oh my god, the gay guys that I was subletting from, they're wanting to move back in. Like, where the hell am I gonna live?
That is stressful. Finding an apartment in New York is a bitch.
But this was the most shoehorned in shit. They like, and now this whole episode was going pretty good on the like natural things happening until we get here, where it's like, oh well, there's okay. Well,
but I guess they thought, like, they assume, like, well, we need to make sure that the apartment goes to someone, like, because people are going to care about who gets the apartment.
I think they need to keep the apartment next season
too. But I think they're keeping that as an option because since Lisette's still in our world, the apartment's still kind of in our world. So maybe, you know, what she's going to probably do is like trade apartments with Lisette and give her that one on the park. Lisette's like just fucking dropping into fortune. Well, anyway, Carrie calls. Okay, so she's like, who would ever want to move away from this place? Well, bye, Carrie. And then Carrie like calls. She dials his number.
Like, beep, 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 beep. Steamer, write up the offer, whatever the fuck
she's like, I'm on my way.
And then it's like a new dawn. It's a new day. Oh, yeah. It's a new life. I'm like, ew, this song? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, as she's dialing, it's like dun 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 dun.
Like, you couldn't think of another song, or you know what they should have done is the version that's done by a woman. That would have made a little more. Isn't there a song that
there's a million versions of a woman singing this song? Of course.
Pretty sure before Michael Bublé, like Shirley Bassey or someone did it. Get the Shirley Bassey version, babe. Come on, give the gays what we want, and it's not Michael fucking Bublé.
Well, anyway, it ends on a rough note, but the rest of this episode was really good.
I liked it. I was like, wow, they're hitting their stride, and weirdly. Now, it's I got to figure out a better way to phrase this. I'm not looking forward to season 3, but I'm not dreading it as much as I was
after
previously.
Season 1. Yes, right.
Yes.
See, I told you season 2 gets genuinely pretty good.
I'm not going to give it that much because still, this is not a show that needs to exist.
It's not a show that needs to be 42. I think the runtime is a major issue. Obviously, we talk about it, but major issue for us personally, because there's more resentment when I sit down to watch these. There's more of a like inner grumbling about it.
Well, it just does not clip along the way that Sex and the City did, and that's one of Sex and the City's biggest
good things about
it.
Like
the best things about it is that it's like shit's happening, you know. Anyway.
Love you guys. We'll join
the hiccups.
Great.
Jeez. All right, guys. Oh my God. If you're watching us on YouTube,
check out our Patreon.
Hit subscribe. Yeah, check out our Patreon. $6 a month. Patreon.com/podinthecity. If you're willing to listen to this bullshit more. This next episode should be pretty fun because we're using an hour to recap a 4-minute web short. So we'll see
how it goes.
We love you guys, and we hope that you love us too, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye.